Alaikum, Jianu, Pakhairagale, Ni Hao, Chunishume, Washmale, Ohio Gonzaimas, Guten Morgen, Hola, Bonjour, Privyet, Kaifan, a very amazing Khush Amadi to everybody who's tuned into PT World and watching World this morning. Alongside the very amazing, the very pretty, the very dazzling Maham Makhdoom. And yeah, the very handsome Shahzad Khan. Today I just thought that, I should actually say that to my own self as well. Hello Maha, how are you?
Hello Shahzad, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Why not? Positive reaffirmation. There's nothing wrong with that, Shahzad. So you are looking very nice today as well.
Thank you very much.
How has your day been? Because my day has not started off very
well, this is what 15 March is all about, but we'll definitely talk about that. But first of all, I think what we need to do is rise and shine, wake up, get up and be more focused about whatever we want to achieve in our lives. But before we talk about anything, I think it's about time that we go and take a look at all of these news we have gathered for you guys, no?
Yes, let's take a look at what's happening around the world and within Pakistan.
Good morning. Ukrainian photographer Natalia Kuznetsova, who knows how to make pets look stunning on pictures, has opened up a specialist photo studio for animals in the country's western town of Lviv. Wow. But nobody took my picture.
The official selection for the first Cannes International Series Festival, due to take place in Cannes, happened in Paris. Organizers said they received 130 entries, but only 10 made the competition. Congratulations to those who made it through.
Yeah. But still nobody took my picture. Imagine going to such festival, it might be interesting though. All right, but moving on, paintings by artists including Picasso and Monet, once owned by billionaire philanthropist Peggy and David Rockefeller, go on display at Christie's in Paris as part of a world tour before a sale in May, which the auctioneers expect to break all records and make more than $500 million.
Yeah,
I want to go back home and just make paintings.
Well, no, because you have to be talented like Picasso and Monet, love.
Well, I think I am.
Okay, and now moving on to the sports. Lahore Qalandars beat Quetta Gladiators by 17 runs in the 26th match of Pakistan Super League at Sharjah. PTV Sports telecast the match live, as they have been doing with all the matches.
It's gone high, it's going to fall in the gap and bounce away. That's helped on its way, it's gone all the way. That's what he can...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, these were the top stories, or in fact, all of that news which we thought that might be interesting for you guys too as well. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, just like in Pakistan on 14th of August, there's celebration, there's enthusiasm, and there's patriotism.
Yes.
There's something that we are going to do today, and that is?
We are going to be observing and finding out about the National Day of Lithuania. It is celebrating its 100 years of independence, and it's got a complicated history because there was a lot happening in that block of the world, especially over the last century. So they are there's two national days that they celebrate. It's the second independence as well, which happened in 1990 as well.
Yeah, from the Soviet Union as well,
Absolutely.
ladies and gentlemen. But other than that, talking about Lithuania, it's a small country with a population of 3 million people only, so I think that they might have space for us to fit in. But other than that, it's a country I think it has got a square kilometer area of 70,000.
No.
No?
65.
Yeah, if I'm saying it, I think I'm saying it right.
All right, well, you're wrong, but we're going to also be telling you why we're going to be having this information about who's right and who's wrong. But it's 65,000.
All right, 65,200 square kilometers, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. And the only reason why I said 70,000 is going to be the second segment of the show.
Absolutely.
But right now, we have got a small introductory video of Lithuania. Go ahead, take a look. And when you guys come back, we'll be celebrating the National Day.
Yes.
It's the largest and southernmost Baltic state, the others being Latvia and Estonia. It gained independence in 1990, just a year before the collapse of the Soviet Union, the first Soviet state to do so, by the way, and joined both NATO and the EU in 2004. Lithuania ranked as Europe's top-performing economy in 2002 with the highest growth rate, earning the title of Baltic Tiger. Despite this, it has a GDP of just over $41 billion, less than the GDP of the U.S. state of Rhode Island. Like other nearby countries, Lithuania is ethnically homogeneous, with 84% of the population being ethnic Lithuanian. The official language is also Lithuanian, one of only 2 remaining Baltic languages, and the nation is more than 75% Roman Catholic. The country also emphasizes the sport of basketball, which has been called the second religion of Lithuania. With 3 Olympic medals and 3 European Championship titles, the national importance of the sport is one of the reasons a disproportionate number of professional basketball players are from Lithuania.
Welcome back, and that was an introduction for you guys to tell you a little bit about Lithuania, and we're going to be sharing a lot more information, the importance of the relationship between Pakistan and Lithuania, and what the two countries can give to each other on a social, economic, and that kind of
cultural,
level.
and education, and
oh yes, the other important segment.
And the age category of 25 to 34, ladies and gentlemen, these are the people who actually specialize in quite a lot of other things as well in different fields. And since when we talk about biotechnology, and this is what everybody is talking about, because biogas, biofuel, and all of these technologies, I think that the origin is Lithuania. And today, to discuss all of these things, we have been joined by the Honorary Consul General of Lithuania, none other than Mr. Masood Khan. Hello, assalamu alaikum, congratulations, how are you?
Great, thank you so very much for inviting me today.
Thank you so much for being here. It's a very important occasion that we need to be observing, and Pakistanis should also be aware about the importance of Lithuania and the role it plays as well.
Well, I hope that they are doing, Lithuania, as you rightly said, that it's a very small country in the Nordic Europe, got the independence second time in 1990 from Soviet Union. So today we are celebrating 100 years of the independence. We got the first independence in 1918, and then the Soviet Union, at that time Russia, took over these Baltic countries in 1945, and then 1990 they got the independent again. And out of the whole Soviet Union, Lithuania was the first country to get the independence from the Soviet Union. A small country stand in front of great Soviet Union and say, no, we want our country back.
Okay, wonderful.
That
So
is
now-
the first country. And then Soviet Union divided into 15 countries.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, so now let's move on and let's talk about the importance of the relationship between Pakistan and Lithuania. Why is it something that your general public should be aware about? What are the benefits of it? Or
Well, this is very important, that we have to have a bilateral relation with all countries. We are member of the United Nations, so we all are linked to that. Lithuania being a small country and far away from Pakistan, we have started our diplomatic relation in 1992.
Yes.
They got the independence in 90, and we got
The embassy opened up in Pakistan in 1996, I guess.
yeah, not the embassy, it's a consulate open.
Okay.
A small country, so they open a consulate, and I am there for last 20 years to represent the president of Lithuania in Pakistan.
Right.
And we have a lot of diplomatic relation growing up. Now there is an embassy in Ankara, which cover, and you interviewed the ambassador last year. Pakistan has an embassy in Copenhagen to cover up Lithuania, but now it has gone to Minsk.
Okay.
From Minsk, we are covering, Belarus, because that is next door.
Okay.
We have a border next to there, but they have the embassy. We are working on a lot of projects. A lot of students are studying in Lithuania. Education is very, very high. The highest number of PhD per 1,000 inhabitant in whole Europe is in Lithuania.
Okay, that's fantastic. But I mean, regarding to Pakistan, all of these figures and all of these, all of the advancements that Lithuania have made is fantastic. But what are the results of the effects of that on Pakistan as well?
Well,
tell us a little bit about that.
Our trade is increasing. It was started very small, but now it's growing.
Right.
We are buying a lot of high-tech things. We are working on some institute on biotechnology in Pakistan with the help of Lithuania and Pakistan.
Fantastic.
We need it. Our students are studying in a lot of faculties in Lithuania, especially those those faculties where Pakistan is not advanced.
Right. Okay. Wonderful.
Marine technology and biotechnology and laser and nanotechnology.
And this is what I wanted to talk about too as well. Now, Masood Sahab, what happens over here in Pakistan is that we do lag behind in terms of technology, or probably whenever we talk about agriculture as well, because our GDP depends on agriculture. Our economy dependent on agriculture as well. But other than that, what I think is that whatever I have heard about Lithuania is that Lithuania is all brains. So now, how do you describe that? That
it is
Lithuania is
very,
all brains?
very interesting question. Actually, Lithuania was an agriculture country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I used to live in Denmark, and Pakistan used to import dry milk from Denmark.
Okay.
But later on, people find out that Denmark import the milk from Lithuania and then export it to Pakistan.
Right.
Can you imagine that? Because that was an agriculture country. But in recent years, last 40, 50 years, you know, it turned into the R&D. 50% of the university science students are working on R&D.
Amazing.
You know, when they come out of the university, they are already developed something. They have created something. I'll leave you a brochure, you will read it, how many students are directly in a young age involved in innovation.
I think if you give
Wonderful.
it to me right now,
Yeah,
I
well, let's
think
have
we
a
can
look.
share
I
this
will be,
information with all
I'll
our
be
amazing
very
viewers
honored
out there
to
as
give
well.
you, this is a
Great. Thank
driving innovation, and you
Okay.
see, and
We
this
have the
is
right DNA.
you.
this, we have the
Invest.
right DNA. And this, you can get a picture, total picture of Lithuania, you know,
wonderful.
and you will see it.
Okay,
When
so-
you visit next time, you will go and see it.
Okay, so now the leading areas that Lithuania are, you know, progressing in, you've mentioned, is the biotechnology and also R&D.
Yeah.
Now, these are both areas that with Pakistan, you know, aren't as obviously as advanced in. So now, especially with R&D, how can Pakistan take cues or learn? Because as Shahzad mentioned, as you mentioned, Pakistan is an agriculture-based, Lithuania was, but now it's so advanced and it's, you know, progressing at such fast speeds. What
Actually,
can
the
people
first, you know, their minister, trade minister, visited Pakistan in 99 when
Right.
Chief Minister was in power.
Yep.
It was 99, he visited here. And all MOU signed with them was based on agriculture. They want forestry from Pakistan, they want milk production from Pakistan, they want livestock development from Lithuania. And I keep on telling them, for God's sake, go for a high-tech. They are very advanced in high-tech. But now we are working on it. Science Foundation is working. Some university is working.
Okay.
Higher Education Commission is working with us to exchange program, you know.
Wonderful.
So yeah, let's go step by step. First of all, so the first page I open, ladies and gentlemen, says that 90% of Lithuanians speak at least one foreign language.
Which is wonderful. And
Yeah. So how does all of this happen?
Yeah, well, as I said, when the country is small, you have to learn the other languages anyway.
Absolutely.
But it is amazing that all educated Lithuanian actually speak 3-4 languages, European languages or Far East. Now even Chinese they are learning, because China and they are doing a lot of research work together today.
okay. And also now one thing which I opened the book up at is that it is witnessing a 22% annual growth within biotechnology, pharmaceutical research and production sectors, which is fantastic. Amazing.
Only 3 million people doing all of this work.
Actually, you know, I told you just before the program
Good one.
that I got myself a shock when I see how much big is the export of that little country of 3 million. And they are actually exporting brain.
Yeah.
They are, the Vilnius University is over 400 years old.
Right.
400 years old university. And every child who is coming in, he is trained in his subject to do research, whether it's philosophy or whether it's science or whether it's history. But the research is a part of every student from childhood.
And talking about research, more than 18,000 R&D researchers and scientists work in Lithuania, and adding on to that, it takes 6 steps and 22 days to start a business in Lithuania. Now,
Yes,
let's talk
we'll
about
do that. I mean, that is what I told a lot of people who like to do business, go and do it. We are a gateway of European Union. We are a member of Schengen. We are a member of Europe. You can establish a business there, and the gate is open for you for whole Europe.
But imagine, you know, you're producing a product for only 3 million people, so
No, we
Yeah,
are
but
not
you're
producing
global.
for 3
You can
million.
export that.
We are producing for the world.
Yes,
Wow.
exactly.
no. But
We are-
if
we are-
I'm going to go to Lithuania and start my own business,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to produce a product for
Them.
people of Lithuania.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's what I was saying.
No. What I'm saying is, Lithuania
that
is a gateway.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a small country. It's a gateway to the whole Europe.
Absolutely.
And that is what we are talking.
Okay.
Do you know that we are talking to connect Baltic with the CPAC?
Exactly.
Okay, wonderful. Yes.
The world is changing.
Absolutely. So now, before we kind of get to the conclusion of the importance of these 100 years and going forward, the relationship within Pakistan, as you mentioned as well, it's a gateway. For Pakistanis, because there is people have visa issues, there are those problems that we face within Pakistan. How simple is it? Like you said, 6 steps. That
Yeah,
sounds
22
really
days.
very easy, but is it as easy as it's made out to be for Pakistanis?
Absolutely.
Okay.
For everybody.
Is it by the book?
It is by the book for
Okay.
anybody.
Right,
No
okay.
doubt. There are a lot of Pakistani who is starting doing it.
Okay, but if they're so advanced, what opportunities would a Pakistani have?
Are we even left with any opportunity?
I can share you very frankly, a lot of important people ask me to go and settle in, because it is a European Union country.
Absolutely.
You get a settle in one Schengen country, you are all over Europe.
Absolutely.
The attitude of them is that they are not asking you to bring a lot of money. What they're asking you to bring your knowledge.
Right.
You should create a job for yourself and create something there to develop. And that is their attitude. They don't ask you big money, not at all. You can start with a small capital, your company. You are an expert in anything, you can do it. You can start importing, exporting. If you are an engineer or scientist or a doctor, you can do a lot of work.
And talking about their attitude, ladies and gentlemen, by the end, towards the end, they say that, not only are there excellent business opportunities, there is a welcoming social atmosphere too amongst these very genuine and friendly people, said by David Earp, UK Trade and Investment, Cambridgeshire as well.
Wonderful.
So I think Lithuania is one of those places where we definitely need to visit, and yeah, obviously we'll have to apply for the visa. But
You can
but
let
thank
me
you
know
very
when
much,
you're-
and
when
thank
you're
you very
going.
much. Congratulations.
I
for
left 2 cards here for both of you
Thank you
to
so
join
much.
us tonight.
Great. Thank you so much.
I should have sent you earlier, but I thought I should bring
Okay, we'll take that tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So we'll definitely be joining you guys at the Independence Day of the Republic of Lithuania as well. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you
Mr.
so much
Nehru.
for being
Thank
here,
you so
taking
very
the
much
time
for
out.
inviting me. And
Just like we say over here, Pakistan Zindabad, do we have like a slogan for Lithuania?
well, we'll say not Pakistan Zindabad, but Lithuania, Lithuania, Lithuania. They just
Lithuania, 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 ladies and gentlemen.
Great.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much for your
Congratulations once
time.
again.
very kind of inviting
Thank
me.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, guys, so that was us observing the National Day of Lithuania. It's very important because we have a very good relationship with the country, and they have a lot to offer the world as well. It's an example to learn from as well, right?
Exactly, and when we talk about this, I think that all of those people grow who actually do not sit down with their age fellows or with the people who actually have the same color tone or probably are from the same ethnic background or geographical backgrounds as well. This is how you grow. When you get to know about the world, when you travel, this is when you learn, ladies and gentlemen. And today, that's why that we were observing the National Day or probably the Independence Day of Lithuania or the Republic of Lithuania. Don't go anywhere, because when we guys are going to come back,
Yes.
as initially I said, that that the size of Lithuania is 70,000 square kilometers, but she
yes.
said that it's wrong, and
Yeah.
for 65,200 square kilometers, and I never wanted to agree to that because I thought that
You're
मैं
right.
ठीक बोल रहा हूँ,
Yep, so he thinks
and
he's
I
right.
always do that.
Exactly.
मैं ठीक ही बोलता हूँ.
So we will let you know what we guys are going to be discussing in the second half. It's really very interesting. Do stay tuned because he's always right, apparently.
Oh my, I'm the scapegoat. Good morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for everybody who just got tuned into PTY. You watching well this morning alongside Maha Makhdoom and Shahzad Khan. Today, earlier, we were celebrating the Independence Day of the Republic of Lithuania, and the total population of Lithuania, ladies and gentlemen, is just 3 million people. And I think about a rough estimate of how many people live in Islamabad is 2 million. And
yeah, somewhere as productive as them as it was.
And we definitely, she took her time to say that, but
trying to be
honestly,
nice.
I think this is something which we need to realize, we need to learn, and we need to exchange whatever technology we can, or probably whoever came up with that.
It's not just about technology, it's also about a cultural exchange as well, because at the end of the day, until we start learning about other people and other things and experiencing them, we're always going to have assumptions, we're going to have stereotypes, and they're not always correct. And that's not just when we come across meeting people from different countries.
Yeah.
It actually spills into a lot of our life where we think we know everything.
Everything. And this is what we actually initiated with when we opened up the show, ladies and gentlemen, that I said that, that the size of Lithuania is 70,000 square kilometers as well, which is
Incorrect, yes.
And I was so rigid about the fact was just to tell you that, we cannot always be right.
Exactly, and that's the whole point of today. And we found it very fascinating when we were, all sitting together to see what kind of show to do, because within our culture as well, within human behavior, let's not make it just about cultures, but I think human behavior, we kind of feel like we know everything. And what I've noticed a lot, actually, especially within society today, when I've been out and about, is that a lot of the times you're having a conversation, you're putting across your opinion, or something that you feel like and the other person is always like, no, that's not right. No. Everything we start off with, because we know best, we know more, we know better.
No. No, but other than that, I think that you're very right at this point of time. But other than that, I think what I would love to add on to is that quite a lot of households over here in Pakistan, we have this cultural norm of men being right. Even though...
Or elders.
Yeah, or elders, yeah. And you cannot even challenge them. And once you try to challenge them, you probably end up getting beaten.
I know, and the anxiety it causes. And also another aspect of it is that, people see it as a sign of weakness when they may not get a piece of information correct, or they may not know everything. But to discuss why do we feel like this? Why do we behave like this? Because as human beings, it is not possible for us to know everything.
To know it all.
Exactly. So we have been very lucky. We've been joined by Dr. Ambreen Ahmed. She is a child psychiatrist. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here today.
And it took us long to get you on the show too as well. Thank you very much once again for gracing the occasion. So yeah, it is everything you think is wrong day. So not everything can be wrong, right?
No. No, not everything can be wrong. But I think that what you were talking about, the disadvantage of that is that it stops us from learning. Because once we close our mind, and I think you're right, that what happens is that instead of listening, we are so quick to judge, to put up our own opinion, that we are actually very bad listeners. And it just closes our mind. We are not willing to sort of accept our mistakes. so we can't grow.
And
Okay.
me and Ma are actually trying to be good listeners
I know,
today.
we're listening, but we have so much I want to ask.
And I was like, okay, so yeah, I cannot actually barge in, or I cannot, just go on with my own
No, you
question.
shouldn't
And I
barge
think
in
that was
anyway.
that was a good idea.
No, that's
Thank you very
wonderful.
much for saying that. And both of us were like, yeah, we are trying to be good listeners
Yeah,
today.
no, so no, this is very important. But with it, let's bring it down to Pakistan, because it's about talking about our lives, our day-to-day lives, and then connecting with Pakistanis abroad as well, and showing people what our life is like within Pakistan. But within Pakistan, like Shahzad mentioned, a really important point that elders or the male, dominate within the family, and you cannot challenge their statements or their facts
decisions.
or the decisions. So I mean, how do we overcome these hurdles as well? Because like you said, we can't always be right, but they're not listening and they're not learning and they're rigid.
Well, I think that you do it by continuing to persist.
Right.
And I would like to say that this is not just Pakistan.
No.
It's all over the world that, if you're in a meeting, men will tend to talk more, so it's all over the world.
Right.
This patriarchal kind of
Absolutely.
mindset. So, but I think that women are beginning to challenge that, and we are seeing that. Hopefully in Pakistan too, women are challenging that to some extent. I think that as we empower people, just yesterday I was talking about a rather serious issue of child sexual abuse, and one of the things that we talk about is that when children are socialized and conditioned into not questioning or not being able to say that somebody older or somebody which other people think is very respectable has done something wrong, then they keep quiet.
That's such an important point. We didn't even take it to such a deep level. Amazing.
But yes, to be able to question, to be able to point out that the other person is wrong, I think that's part of empowering our children, especially to say, it's all right to speak up. It's all right to make mistakes.
So now see that this is the dilemma that over here when we sit besides our elders or even the young ones, we just do not point out if the elders are wrong, and we just do not have that courage to say those things to them, or probably even in a nicer way that ji abbu ji lekin aapki baat galat hai, you're not saying it right. So the next thing is flying chappal on my face. So how do you think that we can combat that?
I think we have to do it. We have to stay within our cultural norms to some extent. There are some very good things about our norms as well. We don't want to reject everything, but at the same time, I feel like the way I look at it, if we can learn to be more assertive, it'll have to be, the change comes from both sides.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that everything that we think as young ones, I'm not including myself, certainly.
Well, you should, why not?
You young ones, is correct. Yeah. But at the same time,